1. The Girl Who Glowed. The first time Dr. Elias Wren saw her, she was sitting in the corner of the lab, wrapped in a silver blanket, watching him with frightened, luminous eyes. Her skin wasn't one color. It shimmered, a slow pulse of hues that changed with every breath. Blue when she was calm, gold when curious, violet when anxious. Her name was Lyra, and she wasn't human. The report had said she was a chromian, one of the last of her kind, an alien race whose skin reflected emotional states like living light. The military had found her in the wreckage of a crashed ship outside Sector 5, the only survivor. When Elias stepped closer, the air around her seemed to vibrate. "Can you understand me?" he asked gently. Her skin turned pale green, a confusion. Then orange, caution, finally faint blue. She nodded. "I understand," she said softly. Her voice trembled. "You're human." Elias smiled faintly. "And you're safe now." But as he turned away to record his notes, her color flickered crimson, fear, anger, or both. He didn't know yet what red meant. The color of fear days passed. Elias was assigned as her behavioral specialist. His job: learn to read her emotional shifts, establish communication, and report anything unusual. Every day he entered the containment room, a clear barrier between them, and spoke to her through the glass. At first, she barely responded. Then little by little, she began to ask questions. "Why do you hide behind walls?" she asked one morning, her skin faintly purple, curiosity mixed with sadness. "To keep you safe," Elias said carefully. Her colors darkened. "No, to keep you safe from me." He didn't answer. When she slept, sensors recorded bursts of color that scientists couldn't explain, swirling lights that bent energy readings around her body. Some believed it was tied to her nervous system. Others whispered it was her soul made visible. Elias didn't care what the data said. What mattered was the look in her eyes, lonely, resigned, like someone who'd already lost everything. One night when he thought she was asleep, she spoke softly through the intercom. "Does it hurt?" she asked. "To be alone on your world too?" Elias froze. He'd never told her he was alone. He looked at her, skin glowing faint blue now, and said quietly, "Yes, sometimes it does." She smiled faintly. The color deepened to silver, the chromian shade of trust. The forbidden experiment weeks later, the higher command issued a new directive: physical testing. Elias protested. Her species reacts unpredictably to emotional contact. Direct touch could trigger. "Exactly why we need to test it," the colonel interrupted. "We're studying her biology, not your feelings, doctor." They scheduled the experiment for the next morning. When Elias entered the lab that day, Lyra was trembling. Her color cycled too fast to read. Fear, anger, despair all at once. He turned off the cameras. "They told you, didn't they?" he said quietly. She nodded. "They want to see what happens when one of you touches me." Her tone was cold, but the silver light beneath her skin flickered like a dying flame. Elias hesitated. "If I refuse, they'll send someone else. Someone who won't care if it hurts you." Lyra's eyes shimmered with liquid light. "Then do it." But gently. The touch, he reached out. For a moment, nothing. Then warmth, like static electricity and heartbeat combined. Her skin felt impossibly smooth, like warm glass under living current. Her eyes widened and her skin blazed gold, then pink, then white. Colors the sensors had never recorded before. The machines began to scream in alarm. "Lyra!" Elias shouted, her hand convulsed around his. "Your touch," she gasped. "It's too much. Humans feel louder than we do." Light burst from her chest, flooding the room. The walls glowed, the glass cracked, alarms wailed. And then, silence. When the light faded, she was on the floor, breathing shallowly. Her skin was no longer shifting. It had settled into a single, soft color rose gold. Elias knelt beside her. "Are you okay?" She looked up at him, eyes shining. "You didn't hurt me," she whispered. "You connected." Aftermath, they tried to separate them after that. The military sealed her off, running new tests from behind reinforced barriers. But something had changed in her. Her readings matched his pulse. Her emotional patterns synchronized with his visits. When he was near, her colors steadied. When he left, they dulled to gray. It wasn't just psychological, it was biological resonance. One night, Lyra reached out to the camera lens and whispered, "They can cage me, but not what you gave me." Her light flared. The sensors overloaded again. The scientists recorded it as an anomaly. Elias called it hope. The escape a month later, a containment breach alarm blared through the facility. Doors sealed. Security scrambled. Elias ran to the observation deck and froze. Lyra was standing in the center of the lab, surrounded by light so bright it melted the walls. Guards shouted orders. Someone fired a tranquilizer. The dart evaporated mid-air. "Stop!" Elias yelled. "You're hurting her." He forced his way inside before anyone could stop him. The air vibrated with energy. His skin tingled and the floor cracked beneath his boots. "Lyra!" She turned to him, eyes pure white, body glowing with every color she'd ever shown. "I can't control it," she said. "When you touched me, something changed. My body's reacting to your energy. I can't stay here." He reached her, ignoring the heat that burned his arms. "Then I'll come with you." Her expression softened. "If you do, you'll never return." "I don't care." She hesitated, then placed her palm on his chest. The world dissolved into light. The new sky, when Elias woke, he was lying in a field of soft crystal grass under a sky that pulsed with color. Lyra knelt beside him, her skin calm and glowing pale gold. "Where are we?" he whispered. "My home," she said. "Or what's left of it. You carried my resonance. It guided us here." He sat up, looking around. The air shimmered like water. Distant structures of light curved into the horizon, broken but beautiful. "I thought your world was destroyed," he said. "It was," Lyra answered. "But when you touched me, you gave me memory. I used it to rebuild what could exist again." Elias stared at her. "You mean, this is a memory made real?" "Yes, you helped me remember what home felt like," she smiled. For the first time, the light beneath her skin didn't flicker. It flowed steadily like the sunrise. The choice days passed in peace. Elias learned to breathe the air, to feel the rhythm of her world. Every emotion he felt, curiosity, wonder, even sadness, and reflected in her colors like she mirrored the soul inside him. But peace never lasts. One morning, Lyra stood at the edge of a luminous cliff watching the horizon crumble. "It's fading," she said quietly. "My world can't last without the energy that created it. I brought you here, and it took from both of us. If we stay, we both disappear." Elias stepped closer. "Then let's go back." Her skin darkened. "I can't. If I return, they'll cage me again. They'll use what we share to build weapons." He took her hand. "Then I'll stay. Better to vanish with you than live in a world that fears everything it doesn't understand." She looked at him, color shifting to deep violet, sorrow and love. "You humans," she whispered. "Always choosing heart over survival." He smiled faintly. "You taught me that's what strength really is." The last light. The world around them began to dissolve into color. The sky bent inward, sound and light merging into silence. Lyra touched his face, her skin glowing every shade of emotion: love, fear, peace, gratitude. "When they find you again," she said, "tell them not to fear what they can't understand. Tell them we were more alike than they ever knew." Elias whispered, "They won't believe me." "Then show them." She leaned forward, her forehead against his. A surge of light passed through him. Not pain, but memory, warmth, and every emotion she'd ever shown. Then she was gone. Ken. Epilogue months later. Rescue teams found Dr. Elias Wren unconscious near the ruins of the Chromian ship in Sector 5. The bunker was gone. No trace of Lyra remained, but under his skin, faint patterns of light shimmered. Colors that shifted when he spoke, breathed, or remembered. He never told the full story. All he said was this: "Her skin changed with her emotions, and she taught me that the strongest color in the universe isn't red or gold or blue. It's connection."